Beautiful ignited souls, we are ready for a new creation. Beautiful ignited souls, thank you. I am Crime Queen in case you're joining us on the ship. Yes, of course, they often say the more the merrier, but I hope you are ready and ready and fit. That's what we are doing, getting fit for this journey on the fifth dimension that we are on. So, I like to say, get your cup of tea and, your apple, whatever it is. And although I don't intend making these videos long, when I say long, I mean, just have them like bite sizes so you can taste the deliciousness of that too, basically, is what I'm saying. So, I was thinking of doing some words that just to give us that kind of balance, create some balance. Now I had a few words like light and vibration and energy and wisdom and different words and that actually generate a lovely feeling in me, and I hope it does you too. And when I thought, okay, those words, they tend to resonate, so I got curious into finding out, well, what is the numerical value of these words? And I found something very in common, that they all were like 11, or most of the words that I did, or 44, but strong numbers in the sense like 44 would be 8, and that means that is whole, like I have been showing, 8 is like a god unto itself. So, I thought I would just do some bite sizes. Now, one of the words, in fact, the last word that I noticed as well, in my, because I do write a lot, and it's almost crazy to see. This is an old diary of 2020, but it's all about numerology. I think I put in there, so I get ideas and I jot things down, and so, this is it's a copy, but I do like the elephant hair, and it kind of reminds me of those notes that I have been doing, and hence I keep saying we are all of those things. You're the elephant. The elephant is a representation of your memory. That's what it is. So we are speaking of language here now. So, speaking of language, I thought I would actually do the word language. Now, I know I have done that before in looking at the letters, the 26 letters that we use in numerology, and the 9 numbers, of course, numbers 1 to 9. So 26 and 9, I don't know if I did this before. So we had 26, but we know 26 is 8. And we have 9. Of course, if we add this together, is 17. Now, isn't it just? This is the set of things that we have. So we have a set of numbers, letters, which is 26. Adding these together in numerology, that gives us 17. That's the God. So we are God because we have that language. That's the language given to us. Now, the 26 letters, and of course 9 numbers. Okay, now speaking of language, I thought talking about words, for instance, and it came to mind that I'm not sure that we actually take the time, wow, to study the words, their textures, their colors, their contours, which is all of who we are, our makeup. So what I did when I noticed, I was drawing a bow, yeah. So and the swans. Okay, so what I had done, and one of my moments, I don't know, in one of my moments, I just do things, and this might be a little bit scary, but I thought, oh, well, it was talking to me. Whatever it was saying, it was good because it got my skills. And perhaps it's the the mother of language, like the serpent, because the serpent was said to be the wisest of all creatures. Well, I think that's what I was thinking at the time. of the serpent. Yeah. So, words, we are talking about light. So, words are light. We could have light texture, they make you feel light-hearted. Another thing we could look at words. They could be piercing. They cut through, whichever way you want to look at this. So I was looking at texture of words, and this is what I came up with. These are the textures. And so you can see how the texture of words has been protruded and in all the instruments that we use. There's another one. Words are piercing, isn't it? They pierce the heart. So this is what we know. We are made of words. This one, they say it's a cutthroat. This is the language that everything we create, we do, it is expressed. It is the codes within us, and they are expressed out. This is dripping or drops. So words, you drop words, you eavesdrop, that sort of thing. And I wanted to do the words that melt your heart. Of course, this one is words flow. They flow. And I hope you can see this. But it just was one of those exercises. I didn't have the melting one, but the melting one could be like the one that drops. And these are just exercises to help us realize that we are the words, and the words, we use them, we create, we project ourselves out in the creativity that we do. So hence the methodology of TRSHC is done of words, the codes of the Bible. Okay, so let's look at language. And it's just because we have been doing a lot on sexual trauma, and I just felt that it would be nice to just do something like something light, sexual trauma, so we can give ourselves some time to digest certain information on sexual trauma. I may also still leave you with a little exercise that you can do to help as we go along. So let's look at language. Language. And I know we've done this, and we have looked at language. We have looked at it in many ways. So language, we could say, which is the codes that we are, is a God. So we have language is made of 26 letters. It's the letters. And we had numbers. We also looked at the word letter and number. We also done a lot on this. So to understand what we were doing. Adding this together, this is 15, this is 35, of course, this is 8. We can see that this is what we create. Now, it almost seemed like the sin of Adam and Eve was totally irreversible. Why would it be so irreversible that the whole language and everything, because there it was that in the story of Babylon, for instance, when God saw that they were building, Babylon was reaching the heavens and confounded the language all, and this is why we have different languages, we are told. However, it still turned out to be this 8, like when Adam and Eve ate. ATE. Ate of the apple, which is 5. Okay, so this is really like saying the same way that God had confounded the language and given them different languages, and God has done a lot of things, but we can't say like eradicating this 8 altogether. Because why? For God to eradicate 8 altogether is to actually get God, the God, G-O-D. Let's get rid of this because it doesn't work. Is to get God, G-O-D, which is, okay, which is 764. This is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. So, God would say, never take himself out of the equation in all of what we are doing here. Because for God to do that, like get rid of the language or whatever it is, it would be to get rid of God. But what has God done, or what has been done, is that we have been cooked, baked, kneaded, whatever it is, in the same language, because language itself is telling you that it is a God. For instance, if I cannot communicate with you, whether it was verbal or non-verbal, whether it was sensory or non-sensory, whatever it is, then we could not really have an understanding. If you could not read my eyes, my expression, which is also language, whatever it is, then it would mean God would be out of the equation. But no, God has ensured that we are all eating of him or her or it by having given us language. Hence, we see with 26 letters, which also equals 8, but also 9 numbers, numbers 1 to 9. Here, we see that God, and of course, remember there were 2 creations, I always say. So the 2 creations here, it's like that's politics or spiritual politics had come into play here. Perhaps there was a God with 8 and another one with 9, however it went, but we have 14 gods. But however, we see that all of this comes to 8. And it's as if they come to a point, they must have, whether they fought, whatever it is, then there was the division. Then there was the 2 zeros, the 2 knots. So basically, by us eating, because when we eat, we ate this 8. It's like eating of ourselves. We're eating God. This is the whole thing about sacrifice again. So we see that is happening right there. And language again is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters. So 8 letters are given to us as a set in that language. Again, we see that this could be, it's as if the 2 creations have come. Now, there's something I want to point out in Genesis of chapter 1, and I think it's also 2, to know that there were 2 creations. When God created man and blessed them and so on and told them, okay, eat of the fruit, not the tree of, I've got it here actually. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion, and so on. Okay, so that's 28. And 29, and God said, behold, I have given you. So there is something that people need to understand. The word bless is to say be less. Now that is in past tense we had, because we are talking about language. And so we see that bless, which is the 9th God, that's the 9th God, so it's the blessed God. So it's really to say be less. And of course in past tense it would have meant that you have shared of something, you have lessened yourself for something and creating room for more, or for creating room or movement. So to be less. So we see it as, when people use it, but Christians say, "Oh, be bless you," or whatever, is that they see it in their minds as total enrichment or abundance. Abundance. Now, abundance is always flowing, yes, but this is saying to be less. And then there's the other God who says in Genesis of chapter 1, verse 30, I think it is, who says, "Behold, I have given you." So it means all fruit and everything that has a seed in it. Now that means that everything that has a seed has a potential to grow. And that in itself is the continuation or continuum of creativity, because it is a seed. This is the seed that was embedded also in the apple, that would have the likelihood of eating of it, by eating of it, because when you eat is a form of ingestion. You are actually the garden that has everything, the grass and everything. You are that. So when you eat, you are actually going through that motion of movement. So there is the polarities that were right there in Genesis of chapter 1. People actually think it was all about when the woman ate of the apple, but, or well, it didn't say apple, of the fruit, but eating of the fruit itself was playing out the, or role playing what was already done, because she saw it was good to make one wise. And of course, wise is what, people? It is WISE, is saying we, the is, and WE. So basically, we are the wise ones in all of that, is telling you, giving you, and so on. So whatever is here, we are, is, or we are, all of that is that present. The present is the serpent. Okay. So I intend to make this short. Okay, so language. Then we have 6 letters, or letter, 28 letter, the word letter. And here, I feel because it's language, we should have S here to say that this is creation here. So this is 7 letters, and 7 plus 8 would be 15. Now all of this goes in direct correlation here. 15, which is where we create, NEW, here, right here in the middle. So language in itself is a good instrument to helping us find ourselves grounded, stable, and wise. Now I'm just going to do the numerical value for the word language, and what I wanted to show is that it is wisdom. Okay, so it said that the world was created through wisdom, that the world was created. So we have the W, which is you and I, the S, W, united souls, 2 united souls. So this is 5, 9, 1, 4, 6, 4. And this is 29. 10, 29. 2 plus 9 is 11. Okay. So we have done this several times, and see how 1, 1, ONE, and ONE equals 7, 7, and plus that's the 14 gods, the 14 verbatim gods of the scriptures, and the 14 that Jesus is the embodiment of. We all are, in fact, but this is the Christ. Okay, so this is 14 and this is 5. And so here it is said that we, through language, through wisdom, that the world was created. And here we are given, this is the thing, we are given this wisdom. The language that we have is to know how to use it, because we are that. This is why it's important you know who you are. You discover who you are because you are language. When you see someone, you are able to describe everything about them through language. You are able to sense their emotion through language. You're able to articulate everything. Scientists, on the other hand, can do all kinds of laboratory experiments to tell you what this language consists or constructs. The preacher, the butcher, or I hope not with the butcher to chop anyone, the doctor, the scientists, the teachers, it's all what we do. This is the thing that sets us apart from the other species, is that it's the language. And we are able to learn of each other, learn of all the cosmos through language. So there we are, looking at language. And so we see that we see the correlation with God in the language. So as we have established, God is 8, and so it's like God has given, we are of God. He has given, this is where it was said, he gave his only begotten son, but he gave, the son is the seed, the son is everything that has life, that gives life, and so we have life. And so this is where I have given you everything, every seed bearing thing. Okay, so this is 3 1 LAN, this is N 5 7 3 1 7 5. Okay, so adding this together, okay, I do apologize about the light. And so this is 10 15 16 16 23 28 29 32. So this is 32. Language is 32, just as though it were Christ. Christ equals 32. And this is 5. So language is the key, Christ is the key, house is the key. You are the house as well, because you are housing the information, you are housing the key, the codes that you are the constructor of. You are housing language, you are housing all of those are number 5. So I thought I would just do a video on this to really show the essence or the importance of us, just when we use a word, say like wisdom, for instance, which is the 1 word, WISDOM. We know that there is a dome, and a dome consists of everything. It's like a woman's breast who's got breastfeeding a child and so on. So there is a continuum of abundance until that child stops breastfeeding or so. And there is the word is in the middle, which is saying there is all this is present. And we also, of course, WIS is also to say wise, the wisdom. Then we have the W, of course, we have done on Crime Queen. You'll find a lot on wisdom as well. So you have that W, and you have an M, which is saying that there is 8, and in this 8, ISDO is like is and do. So let's look at this. So WISDOM, and it's like, I think I'm getting the word idiom as well, but so here we are, W, that is you and I, that's the W, and of course the M. Again, this is because wisdom is like a circle or a cycle. That's the world. it's like the word. You need to imagine like the word. It's not just an end from here to there. This is broken or divided as in the gods to really give us that way of constructing or deconstructing. But wisdom is the circle, is the world right there. So whether you started there or wherever you start, this is what we are talking about. And of course, 8 is whole. In the middle of all that is whatever is, everything is, and whatever is that we do. Then when you do, there is movement, there is life. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this. There is so much more I wanted to do, and it's when I'm doing the videos, they actually take their own coat and their own cloak, and they speak their own language. Thank you very much. Thank you.